Welcome back to our St. Louis Blues rebuild in Franchise Hockey Manager 11. It's on the eve of the 2028 draft, and if you're last with us, you would have seen that we managed to at least make the playoffs and get out of the first round before being swept by Blackhawks, who eventually ended up losing to the Predators, who won their second championship against the Rangers. Rangers were pretty good throughout the regular season, but Nashville, looking like a wildcard team, managed to win. I find in this game a lot of wildcard teams end up upsetting top teams, and it's pretty wild. Even us, we end up finishing top of our division, and then obviously losing to third place team who swept the second place team. It's still kind of crazy how things kind of work. Obviously, it works like that in real life, but we'll look at how well we finished throughout the whole division and throughout the whole league as well. We finished top 3 of the league, which is remarkable from what we've done in the past. We've got 284 goals for and 257 against with 27 differential. So obviously heading in the right direction. If you look at how well we did the last couple seasons before that, and we're pretty much the opposite. So obviously 2026, 2027 we did decent. 33 wins, 42 losses in terms of more so the goals for and against. The first season that we really, or second season that we took over, we managed to get 38 wins there with 262 goals for and only 279. So we were pretty decent defensively. So obviously we're trending in the right direction there. Still, obviously wouldn't mind being at like the 220 mark if we could, but obviously that's more so for the elite, the top of the league for sure. But eventually we'll get there. I think with the depth that we end up having, especially at defense, is pretty remarkable. Dupont's going to be very good. Palika also going to be our second best D as well. Villeneuve on the left side, and Vernhoff we now end up signing. Ekblad, I feel as though we're going to end up either just having him as rotation, but he only played 35 games for us last season. And Chris Farreau, hopefully going to get the opportunities this season with Janicic. And then Broberg, we have to question whether or not we want him over the next little while. If we can trade his contract, that'd be great. I think he's probably at the end of it. Yeah, it's his last year. So if I can even trade him for someone who has at least 2 years on it, even for the same amount of money, I will definitely do that. But as you can see, we have a decent amount of picks this year, so we're going to kind of go through it. We're going to allow our AI to maybe get some of them, but we don't have anything past the 5th round, so most of them should be meaningful. Looking at our depth here, Max Penkin could have probably played this year, but I think that if he can kind of marinate just a little bit in the OHL, then that will definitely help us. So obviously we're going to let him develop slowly but surely, but he should be pretty good for a left winger, but obviously not good enough to necessarily start this season. So I'd rather him more 3-star than anything. His physical is pretty decent, but Artemonov kind of emerged as a decent left winger. It showed that he could play left even though he was featuring on the right wing for the most part, so obviously I like that. And then Dylan Holloway didn't quite do as good as what I was expecting, getting top line minutes, and then Neighbors doing a little bit better than what he did last year, but still not really developing in the right direction, if I do say so. Olsen is now going to be a rookie as well. We might end up getting the nod, but I think with his ratings a little bit too low, so I might be inclined to start him though. He could be our backup right winger. Lafreniere is still doing pretty good, but I think that he's probably going to be suitable as a second or third right winger for us. Dvorsky doing pretty well as well at 23, and I do like Romani. Romani's pretty good as well, so I do think we're kind of a little bit stuck here. He shoots left as well, so we might put him on the left side. I mean, obviously I do like having right wingers that shoot left as well, but just more so for the angle, but I don't think this game really factors in that as much. So we might be inclined to train him as another position as well. But Ricard's now coming up for us. This year we did have to sign him, but we'll go through our signings just before that. Before the draft we'll end up doing that. But the signings that we end up doing, transaction log, mostly We ended up signing players from our drafts, but we did try and get rid of some players because we have too many contracts, and we definitely need to have our priorities set. So Rogers and Oster end up getting going for a fourth and a fifth. Obviously, we're at the point where we're trading 4 picks. Eventually, we'll be trading for players, but I think it's just an easy switch. Dorian for a fourth rounder as well. We still, I think, still in the free agency. We can only really afford 3 contracts. Currently, Morrissey, we are the top team for him, so he's going to play left D. Even if he can play our third line D, that would be preferable. Zetterberg, just because I like him, and he has 2.5 stars, but I feel as though he's probably going to be more of a AHL player. Dominic Bassi is going to be probably our backup if we can. We tried to offer him more, but I think it's only going towards the league minimum, so I was really hoping to pay him a little bit more than what I should. And then lenders we're going to end up having in our AHL as well because we don't really have depth in terms of goalie. Not that they get injured that often, but looking at who else is available, there's not really that much. Like, we could go for Joe Veleno, which I do kind of think I might, but might do that after the draft. But even just in terms of we're leading in 4 there. Carlson, I would just based on the contract. Wool, I would have as well just for the contract, but I don't want him to supersede the goalies that we end up having now. Nico Dawes also looked interesting, but I don't think he's nearly as good of a goalie. I could get Wool, but I might look at it at the draft. I think what he's asking for is a little bit too rich for me, because I do have our priority is to develop our goalie anyways. But Hamilton there as well. And then Gavrikov, but only 2 stars, so I don't know why he's asking for that much. Spence, we don't really need right Ds. And then Vjamelka, we're definitely not going to re-sign. He wants a little bit too much. Siloff, I was also looking at. But again, he was 16-22 last year, and his save percentage was terrible. Hoglander, we don't really need. I'm not going to just get a player just for the sake of getting them. But we'll jump to the draft now. We have a decent amount of picks. Let's see how the lottery actually goes, because I find a lot of times, Red Wings somehow are going to end up getting a decent pick. Wow, that's a big jump. I thought they couldn't jump that many times. I've never seen this. So they get 3rd overall, and looks like Vancouver gets screwed out of a pick. And wow, 4th. That's the same thing happened 2 years in a row, where 4th pick ends up getting 1st. So obviously we're not too worried about where we kind of fit in terms of the draft. We only have the 1 first rounder. We have a decent amount of seconds, so I guess that will kind of factor in. I'm not sure how many we have. So we draft at 27, which I guess is because we finished where we finished, and then obviously our standings probably. We do get a 50 pick, 59, and 63. So not bad. At least 4 in the top 100, so anything can really happen with that. I'd say we still probably need a left winger if we can find one, and probably a backup goalie. I would say lefty. I think unless I can see anything that I like. I don't see it. Liam Pugh, top player there. Obviously, I think he was projected to go number 1 too. Yeah, I think it was a clear consensus, but it's unfortunate that it is in the West that ended up getting a top player as well. But decent backup goalie would be great for the future. Maddox goes next, and I think I did till us. So yeah, Jane Pottenville I did want, but I think we just have to pay attention to him and his development and what team he ends up going on, because he would have been a cool one to get. He was projected to go 15th, so we would have maybe had a shot on him, but going 4th, obviously we don't. Riley O'Brien there, now top player available. Larson, ooh, and a goalie. Larson actually looks pretty good to start things off. For only a 1 star, his offensive is pretty good. He can be more of a playmaker, and he plays center. And his mock draft is 145. There's no way. I guess we won't pick him yet, but that is crazy. If that's actually what his projection is, I'll throw a second rounder. I'll give one of the second rounders for him for sure. But let's not waste it when we don't have to. Or Chomsky looks decent. I mean, I don't know why determination wouldn't be like higher in terms of young players if they're supposed to be good. I imagine a first rounder he's supposed to be decent. He's strongest part of his game is intangibles. Decent stamina, is not a workhorse, but he won't tire out quickly. He gets injured, obviously. Intelligence, yeah, I don't really see his intelligence in everything. So, but I guess this is more of the mark when you go into looking at it. So obviously more of a mental than a physical goalie. So I find that interesting. We don't really need Skujin. And it doesn't look like he should probably come to us anyways. I don't know why its consensus is around 2. It looks a little bit better than that, but obviously it's hit or miss with these players. I don't foresee us needing another D. I think we're kind of set, and then we can kind of filter through veterans. We definitely don't need a right winger either, but his stats look pretty good. He's a dangler. More of an assist getter than a goal scorer. And he's kind of like Artemonov, but the fact that he can play 3 positions, I do like that as well. Playmaking and conditioning is good for him. Defending is going to be non-existent. We definitely need more of a defender. He can go 60th. So, Sinekin, we're going to pay attention to you. You're going to be on our list. And then Anderson, shooting. We definitely need goal scorers or defensive. For sure. I feel as though that's somewhere where we kind of lack 20, 25. So it's kind of a little bit across the board there. And yeah, it's looking like skating's decent, shooting's good, conditioning's pretty good. Again, no defending. And 75th. I don't think William Anderson's going to be on our list if I have to guess. Yeah, we definitely need more of a 2-line center for sure. Projected to go 21, so that does pique my interest a little bit. Defending not there either. Yeah, it's temper. I don't like his personality. 6'2", yeah, Karnan. 6'7", Aaron. Aaron looks like he's decent. His grades are pretty bad though. He's a 2-way, so I like that. His positioning's good, stick checking. He couldn't be a defensive one. I'm willing to take him, yeah, for sure. Aaron, yeah, I see the defensive. It's not as much as what I'd want, but it seems kind of all around. So, you know what? We're going to take Ron at 6'7", yeah, for sure. So we take him with our first round pick. Oh yeah, we'll go. Riker Kessler. We could have got Riker Kessler this whole time. 2.5 only. He's projected to go 73, so I don't think they care about this. So, and wow, looks like both the guys that we were looking at are gone. Skujin is gone. Anderson's gone. And who's the other one? After Aaron, I think it's Larson. Damn, I kind of screwed up then. Yeah, 145. So Rangers have him. We might have to go for him after like a year or so. But now we can get a goalie if we want. See, his determination looks a little bit more apparent, but he's not projected to get drafted. That is wild. Low shots and mobility. You know, I'm okay with taking a goalie with the second one just because you never know. Baranov. Speed looks decent. Like, all of his physicals look pretty good. Puck handling's decent. Stay-at-home defenseman, I don't mind those. I like those a lot. 66. I think we kind of take the chance on him. His defending's good, and his conditioning for sure. Playmaking, not so much, but skating's decent. I'm okay. I'm okay with that. Take a flyer on them. This draft, I wouldn't say is particularly important. I think most of the players that we have are going to be good. Wow, Cepha, I'm just going to call him. Cepha's physicals look good. He looks like a defensive forward. I mess with that, yeah, for sure. He was projected to go 167. Yeah, I'm not going to wait for that kind of stuff. We definitely took the hit before. Yeah, and his skating's pretty good. Yeah, mostly in the green or blue. So I do mess with that for sure. The Zogdu. Then probably left winger, I'd say Spanberg. What? This guy looks great. More of a, yeah, less defending, but the fact that his offensive rating's already pretty top notch. His determination is huge. He's not even projected to go. I'm going to take a chance on this 17-year-old player. What the? The fact that he's not concerned about money either, so that'll be good for future. Not much of a playmaker, more of a shooter. He has okay defending. His physicals are a bit low, but I don't see that. So I guess just strength and fighting. Yeah, Spanberg, welcome to the team. That is wild. And we get the next pick as well. That's crazy. 2 back-to-back. So Andel, I think he could be our best prospect that I've seen, just raw potential. Yeah, we're going to get Petrie. Petrie looks good. He's a 22-way defenseman. He's loaded in everything. This is definitely a flyer for sure. We should definitely take a chance on this guy. How is he? He's 18. He has all that. The scouting looks terrible. How is his defending worse? It looks like it's more like that. Conditioning's pretty good. Obviously everything kind of in the green, but physicality. Not a physical defenseman. I do see that. It's probably his strength and fighting definitely factor into that. I'll take a chance. Oh, I don't even know what round this is. Probably 3rd round. Yeah, we'll take a chance on him. Because you never know. Gazdag looks good too. Yeah, we'll take Petrie. I might even take the other goalie. We're going to add him to the draft list. And yeah, Theodore Jacobson looks good. He's not much of a defensive player. 77 grade too. So I know that kind of factors in. Skating's pretty good. He scores very high on his IQ. It doesn't really show it though. Yeah, it doesn't really show it. What was he projected to go? 129. Yeah, we're going to kind of leave that for now. Another goalie, Falbo. Does not strike me. Fatika. Left wing and center. Nothing really jumping out right away. I think I'm going to kind of more so focus on maybe current ability. Kura. No. I wouldn't say his current looks decent. I'm not inclined to grab 20-year-olds. He looks okay. But he can play left, right, and center. So we do have that. 171 pick. His scouting looks average. I'll take a chance on Lakovic. Seasick looks decent as well. He looks a little bit better, actually. His physicals, yeah, we're going to take a chance on this guy, actually. Good thing I didn't go all in on that. Yeah, I'll take Seasick first. And then we can always get Lakovic after. And he's gone. Where did he go? Maverick McKinnon. Lakovic went fairly recent after us. Because, yeah, Falbo. Gazdag went as well. Casey Sear. So we'll go back to potential. Looks like the goalie went as well, which I find kind of weird. Feels so, yeah, the scouting is definitely not being factored in as well. Puck handling, temperament are the only things I really see. I don't see anything else really worthy of this. Free agent, yeah. No, not really jumping out. Newtonen, I think, was the one that I looked at. Luca's positioning is great, but everything else seems to be lacking. We're currently in the 4th round anyways. Novak, no. We already have a Fisher. Not great. Everyone's kind of like 1 star in this, so it's going to be kind of hard to be able to pinpoint who's going to be good. But face-offs wise, Pavlenin looks decent. Yeah, he does. It can be mostly blue here, except for his defending and physical. I think it was Casper Cole that I looked at. No, it wasn't. That would have been a mistake. See how much a mistake it would have been. I thought it was Cole for a second. Pavlenin, yeah, there we go. Almost picked the wrong player. That would have been terrible. Not that I think any of these players really play Rybov, but you never really want to pick someone that's not even going to be close to it. So Rybov looks okay. I think I might allow AI to start picking some of these players. Davidov, positioning, yeah, that's the only thing. We'll kind of leave that at that. Tika, I could take a chance on him. Let's filter it a bit. See if I can find something in terms of ratings for one of the last picks that we probably have. Acceleration, obviously, I want. Let's see. Go for a fast player. 14 or 15 is pretty decent. Determination, let's look for 12. It's probably gonna be the worst player that we've ever seen. Yeah, so 15 or 16. There's no one. Obviously, those players would probably be gone already. At least they kept it. That's good. So 14. Determination is probably the only one that I don't really want to go much lower than that. Bo look. Maybe it's 14 is the peak there. And let's take off at least one of them then. We'll take off acceleration. Let's do speed. So that gives us these 4 players. Speed and determination 14. Purinen, I mean, already looks like he could be the guy that we grab. Crazy. Yeah, not really, not this guy. So it looks like we managed to at least find one based on just going through those factors. Frolov, yeah, no, we're not going to go for 1-star players. But we'll take a chance on Purinen. And it kind of works out that way that that we need that. But I will leave it to probably my AI for the rest of it. Or maybe the next one at least. I'll allow AI to pick. He ends up going for Rowan Wilson. And let's see whether or not we trust him after seeing things. 1.5 star. I would say probably not. That was the one that we got for Savikov. Yeah, AI is terrible. We won't allow AI to do any more of that. That is god awful. So we'll clear the filters. Go back to kind of what we were doing before. Fisher and might grab another goalie actually. Pick 142. Scouting looks okay. Similar style to Vizmelka. You know, we might take a chance on him. Laxo actually might be the one, but he has terrible terrible positioning ratings or role ratings, which I don't like. So probably won't go for him. Fisher, I mean, kind of the same, but a little bit better, obviously. Counterattacking, I don't know. I feel as though a player can be pretty decent when he has those the abilities for sure. Pyra, Gustafson, I think we're going to kind of leave it at that. Kalik, no, I think we end up getting, we'll go for the goalie. We get another pick in a row. That is crazy. I don't think I've ever had 3 straight. So we're going to go for current ability as long as they're not 20. Pyra. His stamina jumps out, but not projected to go anywhere. Hellenius. I think we end up grabbing him at one point as well. Suspended. Wow. That is crazy. That guy said he gets suspended a lot. Definitely not going to get him. So I think we're going to look for, 17, and yeah, we're going to get Laxo, I guess. Take a chance on him. Current ability at least is higher than what everyone else is at that rate. Fisher, I think we'll take a chance on him. His physicals are at least decent. That should be it. Yeah, that is it for the draft. Let's see if anyone's left decent. No, no one's left decent. I mean, that's not terrible, but obviously we can't sign any players anyways. But looking at, we'll hit continue first, and then we'll look at our depth chart and where all our players kind of line up for that. But we did get Antoine Prue. He's going to be our backup at the moment. But if we can sign any of the other players, obviously I would take that as priority for sure over anyone else. Obviously, we need the cap, but I think this is, like I said, the last year that we probably are dependent on needing to end up signing players for a little bit more. I think we can go cheap after this. So Morrissey signs with us, so that will help us. Zetterberg signs with us as well. Bassi, decent backup for us, and then Leenders, who will probably play in the AHL. So we don't even have to worry about that. And then next year, Berkeley Reed, top player, Max Merlichek or Milicherik, Tyson Orr. So decent amount of players, I would say, but obviously the top ones are the ones that you really want to focus on. Max or Reed, both look like decent players, but let's look at the draft review. We actually had the worst draft. I don't think that's true. I think Aaron's going to be decent. I think even our backups decent as well. The fact that he's at 23, I think it's because we grabbed a couple players that weren't factored in, I think probably towards the end. But this is the first time I've actually gotten, or received, not gotten, one of the worst draft. But I think it's also because there weren't that many good players, but none of these players are featuring here. Aaron, towards the bottom, even Sven Kuhl, we ended up getting last year. At what pick? Fourth round pick is where he was picked, and already better. Spanberg, though. Spanberg's the one that we wanted, I think, out of all of them. And I think that's probably where we got kind of hurt by it, is more so the fact that he wasn't projected at all. But I think we got him for Bluger. But I think that's just kind of them doing it wrong. I think the AI is just not intelligent enough. I don't even know which player the AI drafted. Kernan, Rapika, Engel, Baranov, and Olofsson. So probably all set for defense for the rest of this thing. Plaminden, I thought we signed him, but his defense is pretty terrible. Probably won't end up getting him. But currently looking at it, Eklund Aspie is currently the top player, but we didn't even sign him. He's only 2 stars, and then Aaron Molson and Penkins and Virenhoff, and then Jonah. Jonah's still with the WHL, but his defensive rating looks pretty good. He should be good for us, I think, in terms of center, so we can probably grab him next year. And then Mayer as well. It's going to be very difficult to be able to pick which players we want to kind of invest more in, but someone like Pekarsic, I think we might be inclined to kind of get rid of as well, just to give Shergitt a better opportunity. But that's kind of where we're at in terms of thinking like that. Like even Grayson Sachin, we might just part ways with, because why would we fight with him when we'd rather develop someone like Picard as the bottom there as well. Even Lucas Sachin, current ability much worse, but like McCann's probably not going to play for us. Gauthier was a failure for us as well. Jacko's probably not going to play. We're going to have Olsen, Romani, so at least I'd say no more than probably 5 players in each position that we would really, that we should really worry about. But obviously, it should be 2 veterans, like at least 2 prospects, and then 1 kind of fringe player, but or maybe even three veterans, but still relatively young team overall. I think we're probably the youngest team in the NHL. I think it goes in terms of, yeah, I'm not sure exactly. I swear I saw it before. It might be demographics. Yeah, I think it's demographics. Oldest team, and we are currently the youngest, even with Morrissey being signed on. We're still 23.1, so pretty good in terms of ability there. And then looking here at the winners, Nashville's kind of split in between. Pittsburgh, super old, 27.6, Malkin at 41. So even though we end up signing Morrissey for 2 years, we're still clearly the youngest team. And other than Ottawa by decent margin, by like at least a year and a half average. So not too bad for us, but hopefully you guys like this. Leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and thank you for watching. Until next time.